I know, Dr. Frankl, that you have written that there are 3 ways to find meaning, one being in adopting an attitude toward a fate which cannot be changed. And in Jerry's case, it seems to me that that's what logotherapy has done for you. You have a permanent disability, a severe disability. There's nothing much you can do about that, but what you do have control over is your attitude. Could you tell us how logotherapy helped to shape your attitude?
I think that it's important to remember my attitude adoption and the logotherapy that I employed initially was without any knowledge of logotherapy. I had not read any books and I had no acquaintance with it, but intuitively I modified my attitude toward the situation. In one particular line that Dr. Frankl quotes fairly often, I broke my neck, it didn't break me. I had a physical constraint that I had to deal with over which I could not change. I had no ability to suddenly walk again. However, I did have the ability to choose to live and at least attempt a meaningful life in spite of that physical disability.
I think that substantiates your theory that within the human being is this innate searching for meaning. And it sounds like that's what you were doing, Jerry. And then when you read Dr. Frankl's work, it all fit together. This was exactly how you had been thinking. Did you have that feeling?
It began to fit together. And as I've written, when I read his book, I was overcome with a sense of deja vu. Because many times, he spoke of reactions and the way he felt and the way he interpreted his experiences in the concentration camps. And repeatedly were the times when I identified personally, I felt the exact same way when I lay in that hospital bed as he did when he was in that concentration camp.
It's also a compliment, what Jerry says, a compliment for logotherapy in a strange way, inasmuch as usually each one who comes up with a so-called new therapeutic or other scientific approach prides himself to offer something new, as I said right before. Whereas we are proud to just dig out, to just making people more aware, more conscious of something that has been within themselves, built in, as it were, all along. The wisdom of the heart, the sapientia cordis, that it is called, even referred to in the Psalms. Man, due to, forgive my shifting the terminology from the Psalms to logotherapy, what I am used to calling the pre-reflective ontological self-understanding is just that the fact that man knows all along intuitively, as he put it, Jerry put it, intuitively, what life is all about. That life is a chain of unique situations implying unique potentialities to be actualized in a meaningful way. So the possibilities to invest meaning in our lives, or for that matter in each single life situation, is virtually infinite. Because as you were hinting to before, right before, there are various ways or avenues or leading up to meaning fulfillment. And if one avenue is closed, then you have still others. And it's up to the intuition of a really alert spirit as that of Jerry's to find out if I cannot do that, he said, physically.
Yes.
Over against mentally or spiritually or existentially for that matter. If I cannot use this avenue, I have to turn to another one. There are always possibilities and always alternatives. And he made use of this fact on the grounds of his immense intuitive capacity. And that we are just verbalizing in logotherapy the more or less unconscious, or better to say implicit wisdom of the man in the street. This is a compliment. This makes us proud. I wonder if
so it's calling forth the potential.
Pardon me?
Calling forth the potential that is within the human
being. The awareness of the potentials inherent as potentialities waiting to become actualities.
Right. I think your quote in Man's Search for Meaning is that we should not ask what we can expect from life, but rather what life expects from us. And
right. This is a Copernican switch, turning the greatest question on the lips or in the hearts of any human being, albeit more often than not on an unconscious level, turning this into the reverse. Actually, there is implied the fact that actually it's not up to us to ask the question, what is the meaning of life, but upon closer scrutiny, we might become aware in the final analysis that we are those who are asked, that life is asking questions to us. Questions we can answer, have to answer, but can answer only not by verbal replies, but by action, by doing something. Each situation confronting us implies a question. But this question can only be answered by our deeds, by our acting, by our, not to say our behavior, and if need be, if the situation necessitates just to shoulder it, because we cannot do anything about it, for instance, a more or less permanent handicap, in such a case, what we can change is ourselves. Changing in the sense of rising above the situation, growing beyond ourselves.